Hello, people of the internet.
Hello.
I almost said YouTube. I mean, we are going out to YouTube, kind of. We'll record this and it'll be on YouTube, but
that's how it works.
That is how it works. So I guess we should be saying hello, people of Twitch, but then the people who watch the recording on YouTube later will be confused and angry.
It is confusing. Should we just stop?
All right, I think we just give up now. Okay, bye-bye, everybody. Yeah, it's been fun. All right, so what are we doing today?
Don't confuse them. If that happens at the same time as a VPN drop, people will get scared.
Yeah, that's true.
What are we doing?
So we've got prizes today.
Prizes?
We're going to give away... You know, we sat here debating what to give away, and for some reason we just couldn't think of anything, so we've decided to go with these dumb rabbit ears again.
Or a calendar.
A calendar.
Whoever wins...
You can choose.
Gets to choose.
There you go. Rabbit ears or a calendar.
That's today's prizes.
And that's just because we're feeling lame. It's been a couple weeks since we streamed. What happened?
What did happen? I don't know.
Oh, I got really depressed.
You got really depressed
because Facebook knocked us off the ad platform.
Yeah.
Do you know we found out why? Let's talk about that.
Are we allowed?
Sure.
It was secret information.
It's crazy. So I'm not going to give up my sources, but I do have friends that work at Facebook, and they aren't exactly in the department that does this kind of stuff, but apparently there's a department which is in charge of the machine learning algorithms that automatically deplatform anything they consider to be hate speech or... I mean, they've got such a long list of all the things, the naughty things you're not supposed to talk about.
And we do put lots of hate speech in our ads.
Well, it turns out that we advertise these rabbits, and when we talk about rabbits, we talk often about white rabbits. And believe it or not, they've programmed the machine learning system to trigger on the phrase, follow the white rabbit. And why? Because apparently... this thing called QAnon, they use that as one of their catchphrases for bringing people into their whatever it is they're doing.
Whatever it is they're doing.
And so we got caught up in some sort of a purge on Facebook run by the machine learning triggered off of things relating to rabbits, white rabbits, and following white rabbits. So
hopefully that's all behind us now.
But I have to say, you know, as a creator, as a person who has a family business running on Facebook, and somebody who relies on Facebook advertising to drive, it's something like 70% of the traffic to our shop and to the things that we do in general, which includes Patreon and the projects that we're doing. When you get summarily deplatformed from an advertising system that you rely on so heavily. Like, I felt it was the potential end of many of my dreams in terms of our family business, in terms of my projects, in terms of me just being an independent creator. When I say independent, I mean somebody who doesn't have to go to someone else's office in order to get work done. And it was really depressing. So yeah, that kind of caused me not to want to stream that week.
It did. It was a poop situation.
It was a poop situation.
But... we are all good now.
We're all good now, and we're back. We are going to be giving away the funny rabbit ears, which I guess Facebook would consider some sort of conspiracy group flag signal. I don't know. Or the calendar. And then we're going to be doing art review to go through all the progress that's been made on Alice Asylum in the time since the last time we were here. We've got a bunch of questions and feedback from our insane children over on Patreon. We're going to talk about progress with Redacted. That is the Chinese game publisher that we're currently pitching a studio deal to. And then we're also going to talk about Redacted 2, which is a Hollywood production company who are looking at our Oz Adventures story, game, the whole thing, to turn that into a large-scale live-action TV series thingy. So plenty to talk about.
There is.
But who's in the chat?
Who is in the chat?
It's Lucky Dragon.
Yay!
It's the Real Pimp Cade. Haven't seen Real Pimp Cade in a while.
Yes. Well, so Arthur Zero is here.
It's True Girls Don't Poop.
Yeah.
It's back along with...
Rosso Ave is back. Who's new?
Wendy J is there. Hello, Wendy.
Wendy's not new.
The simming koala. Simmering or simming? Hard to see.
Bloody circuits.
Mm-hmm. Bloody circuits. Living well, living hell. Hello. And B. Beckers Marie. Hello.
Pups Blux 182.
Well, anyway, welcome to everybody. There's Craig Spurlock. Good to see all of you. Thank you for coming back. Looks like we're a little more quiet today than most days.
Yeah, it starts off quiet. Once people see the stream is active, it'll pick up.
All right.
Maybe.
We were talking about this as well. I'm going to start playing the game here so we're not boring you with just talking while we could be playing the game. We were talking before the stream about the fact that we have the Christmas and New Year's holiday coming up. And the question being whether or not how we should handle our stream schedule.
Yes.
What do you think?
Well, technically, if we do Thursdays, as we do, the next one would be Christmas Eve.
For us here.
For us here.
But it would be Christmas Eve for the people in the...
For most of our viewers.
Yes.
So even though I said there's probably not a massive plan that I have, I'd quite like to go out and have a walk around town, see what's happening, have some drinks. But then there's nothing that says we can't just do the stream on the 22nd or the 23rd. We could just
wait a
shift
second.
it.
There's that you can't stream on the 22nd law that you have to... No?
Is there that law?
I thought there was. No. We could actually stream on a different day. That's true.
So that was what we were thinking. Wendy J says, don't do Christmas Eve.
Why not? What's the rationale, Wendy? What's the rationale? Give us a reason. Don't just say don't. There's got to be a reason for it.
Girls Don't Poop are saying it's buffering. We should say that the VPN server we're using today, it's a bit wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. It's not a flat line. It's kind of going up and down a fair bit. It's not dying, but it is going low before it goes back up again. So you might see some stutterage and buffering.
Stutterage.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah.
I don't know where I'm supposed to go here. Feel like there's a skull there that kind of suggests don't jump over that direction, but that didn't have no problem there. Okay, whatever. Hello.
Hello, fishy.
Come on. How do I...
Pull. Jump.
I'm supposed to jump and pull?
I don't know.
It feels...
Jump into it.
I did jump into it. You just saw me do that.
Oh.
Why are his eyes black? I feel like some of his assets didn't load.
Why are his eyes like hexagons?
I don't know. Why is this stone floating like a meter above the floor like that? It's sort of... Is it
Have
still
you broken
moving?
it?
The stone is moving, but not really.
Bug.
Multiple bugs. Apparently.
Contact EA
Am I
customer
going
support.
the wrong direction? Is that what the problem is here? Am I actually going backwards? I feel like I am. I feel like this is a place...
Oh no, we've been morons because we haven't done the stream in such a long time.
God, okay. Yeah.
Oh dear.
We forgot. We forgot how to stream.
We did.
I did.
I've actually had a bit of a headache most of the morning that I've not mentioned.
Is that because you're hungover?
Just bad sleep.
I think you have a hangover.
I wish.
That's code for I've got a hangover.
Right. Here we go. So... Everyone's noticed that we're showing the game now. Some lamaus going off, which is it's warranted.
What's that? Going off about what?
We can't, for us streaming like a bunch of idiot noobs.
Going off in what way?
Just lamau. You're playing a game that we can't see.
Oh.
You cretins.
Well, we were.
American instantly knew what was wrong. And we've got a hype train, apparently.
Well, that's what happens when you stream a game without actually showing the game. It gets people all hyped up.
You know, they do that. I've seen with like Premier League football matches. They have like watch along on YouTube, and it's basically a camera pointed at the guy reacting to something that you can't see.
Yeah, so I've discovered a new sort of thing that's quite interesting on YouTube. That is with Lucky, my son. Right, he's 1.5-ish now. He's like 15 months or something.
Right.
He loves watching these videos of other kids playing with their toys, and it's I'm getting my butt kicked here. And I kind of reckon it's similar to what we're doing here with we're playing a game while other kids are watching us play with our game. Yeah, it's interesting. Okay, I'm not doing very well against this guy. Where's our chat to tell me how to be successful in my samurai battle against this guy?
We've got Choo Choo and Chugga Chugga. We've also got Damn Wasp, and those wasps really messed me up, but I'm not seeing any advice.
Come on, guys. We need advice.
T-Grenade. Amoy... I? Amoy L? Amoy something. It says T-Grenade.
Well, I did... Oh, the T-Grenade you gotta hold down to... Now, I've just gone into Special Angry Mode. That reminds me, we're gonna... Now, where is the grenade? How does that... Is that it?
Yeah, I reckon that's what they meant.
T-bomb, maybe.
Yeah.
So that is going to come up today. Later on in the stream, we're going to talk about the Hysteria Rabbit. Have you seen the design for that?
I have seen it.
Yeah. So I think many of you know we're doing quite well over at Mysterious with these plushy, dreadful, the rabbit plushes. Now, the first one we did was sort of a distressed rabbit, loosely based off of the rabbit that Alice is seen carrying in the games, but not exactly for copyright reasons. It's more like a... What would you say? It's more like an homage.
Homage.
Yes. So if EA lawyers are listening, it's not the same rabbit. Okay. And I'm saying that as the creator of the franchise, so get bent. But anyway, we then went on to create like a love rabbit and an angry rabbit, and those rabbits are doing really, really, really well.
The love rabbit did too well.
Yeah, sold out. Sold out in record time. Sold out so fast, in fact, that we kind of didn't have time to react to how fast it sold out for Christmas. It was crazy. Anyway, we've got all these designs on the drawing board for other rabbits, and among those, there's a Hysteria rabbit, which is obviously based on loosely non-copyright violation version of Alice's Hysteria mode. So if EA lawyers are listening again, it's not exactly. It's more like an homage to Hysteria mode, and it's a rabbit. So again, get bent.
Is homage just like a get out of jail free card?
Homage. It's such a difficult topic. There's so many like Pinterest and Etsy shops out there that are selling just all kinds of stuff from the Alice games, be it necklaces or knives or dresses or toys. I mean, it's bonkers. If you go and you punch into Google Shopping, American McGee, Alice, and then whatever, dress, underwear, rabbit, eyeglasses. I mean, it's just like there's a whole industries out there of people capitalizing on this game, and they're obviously not licensing anything from EA. So I don't know.
Yeah. On the ads, I haven't seen any recently, but there's always some comments on our rabbit ads where somebody will at someone else and say like, hey, these guys have stolen your idea from your Etsy shop. It's like, no, you can't really own the idea of creepy plushie. I'm sorry, mate.
Well, it's funny. One of the ones that you pointed me to, I went and looked at the Etsy shop. He had a collection of rabbits. They had a kind of, their shtick was that they had inside-out dolls. In other words, it was like a rabbit plush, but then it had been turned inside out, so its stitching was on the outside and stuff like that, which is cool. We don't do that. We're not going to do that. But I noticed that several of the designs in the shop looked like either our version of a rabbit, and that would be... These were designs that were only put in there in the last couple months, so it means either we're time travelers or maybe nothing's original, and so don't be a jerk about it. But then there was other stuff in there that really looked like the Lilo and Stitch, or Lilo and Stitch, how do you say that? It looked like that, and it looked like that Lilo Stitch character with the big grin, enough that if you were an IP lawyer for whoever owns that, Disney or Warner Brothers or whatever, you would be getting angry at them.
Yeah.
And yet nobody's getting angry at them. So maybe don't get angry at us.
Such a good movie.
I haven't watched it again. I haven't watched it in a long time. Which one is the little anime character? Lilo?
Stitch.
That's Stitch.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So. Anyway, what all of this is a very long preamble to we're gonna create a rabbit based on a sketch that Jennifer did that is basically like a hysteria rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So, if you like rabbits and you like hysteria,
Long walks in the rain,
and pina coladas, then you will like Hysteria Rabbit.
You will. We'll get to that a little later.
And now, how did we say? There's actually a pretty interesting little wrinkle about how we're going to make that available. You don't have to talk about it now. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Wait, you got any? I'm surely there's stuff in the chat you're ignoring, Martin.
Not really.
Don't make me be mean to you.
So, some people saying, "Oh, I would love a rabbit with blood tears."
That's what it is.
That's what it is. Copper Foxtrot is loving every scene in this game.
This is a pretty game.
This was actually one of the things I watched from Gab something.
I think it's Gab Smolders. So yeah, we were talking about her before we started to stream. I said I'd never really watched her before, but something about her playing the game and her reactions and her kind of giddy happiness is very infectious. I found myself giggling along with her and smiling with her as she played through the game. So it was really fun to see, and it was also nice to see her mention the fact that she's been playing a lot of modern day games of late, modern console and I guess PC games with fancy super high res graphics, and she said that this game, even though it's now 10 years old, holds up quite well. So that's good. Hey Martin, help me solve this puzzle. This one? Where should we start?
No, bottom middle.
Move that one up.
Yeah.
And move this one over.
Yeah.
And move this one down.
Yeah.
And move this one down. And this one over. And this one... Uh-oh.
Oh, something's gone wrong.
Something's gone wrong, Martin. I blame you.
Oh, no. Yeah, we're there. Almost. Just rotate it anti-clockwise.
That's what I was going to do. That was my plan.
They got similar puzzles to this in Immortals Phoenix Rising that I'm currently playing.
That didn't work.
Well, it's all the pieces are there, just...
They're not... That didn't work.
Now bring that bottom middle one up.
I blame you. I feel this is your fault somehow.
Now rotate that one around.
This isn't working at all. I think I'm running out of time here. Yeah.
Okay, then just get good instead.
You know, it's really sad when I can't be good at my own game. Ah. So now do I have... Oh, you just do it again. That's dumb.
Okay, planet this time.
Planet what? Planetarium?
Yes.
So
yeah, Gab Smolder's getting some love in the chat. What else? Wendy J is giving you a Jayo. You can do it, American.
You have more faith in me than I have in me, Wendy. I don't know that I can. Did she actually say Jayo?
No.
Oh.
I paraphrased.
That's racist, Martin.
It's not.
Is
it speaking a different language is now racist?
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially if you do that to somebody, like, presuming that they're Asian and they speak Chinese.
I don't presume that at all.
Ah.
I only said that. Did you do it?
No.
Oh.
That's why I said help me. I said from the beginning, help me. Don't leave me struggling with this. I don't want people to see how dumb I am.
Well, that's too late for that, I guess.
That's terrible. I'm not in a mental state for this.
How easy was that? That was like 5 moves to complete it.
Do you know I actually knew how to do it from the start?
Really?
I did.
Right.
I have to present with a little bit of struggle, otherwise people will be bored.
You're letting them see behind the curtain, man.
This came up on the... I did a live stream thing with Patreon yesterday, and I had mentioned to them several times that we, in crowd design, have discovered that you have to monetize your failures. You have to monetize your mistakes, right? And we learned that with the plush toys. So when we get a bad plush toy prototype, it's actually better than we get a good one, because you get a good one, no one cares, but you get a bad one and everybody loves it. It's like, and what
sad we don't have the Cheeto rabbit on the shelf.
Well, I don't think that they ever sent that to us. We only ever had a picture of that. But what I said to them was, you look at YouTube for all the proof you need to that, which is that are there nipples? No, no. So you know that in the original version of this piece of art, there were nipples. So she got airbrushed to not have nipples.
Makes sense.
It's funny how you can have violence and blood, but you can't have a nipple on a statue.
Anyway, that is odd.
It is. Where was I? I was talking about... so I was saying to them that you look at YouTube, if you have a person who does a skateboarding move down a ramp and just pulls it off, fine, no one cares. Nobody watches that video. But when the guy face plants into the side of a garbage truck and like breaks his back, that gets 1 million views, right? So I think it's similar when you're live streaming, when you're making, doing crowd design type stuff. People want to see you fail a little bit. They want to see you struggle.
But I would also argue that, well, for me, sometimes
I did that on purpose. I did that on purpose for content quality reasons.
I'll see a video with some nonsense title that I'm kind of interested in, like 4,000 degree molten lead versus
an orange
party balloons, or orange or something.
Yes.
And I'll see that the video is 15 minutes long, and I'll go, no.
Get to the point.
No. If this video was 5 minutes long, I'd probably click it.
Yep.
So I think there's an argument for the opposite of that.
Well, it depends on the mood you're in, right? I mean, there's times where, like, I'll go to YouTube because I want to know how to make a sauce, right? Like, how do I make a Bernaise sauce? And in that case, I don't want to see the guy be like, "Hi, I'm Martin. I've been a chef for 15 years, and I learned all my cooking techniques at the Royal Institute of and these are my knives. This is my kitchen. This is my stove." No, just show me the freaking sauce. But there are videos out there that are specifically like, "Welcome to the video. Add butter, add egg yolk, add this," and it's like, toot, and you're done.
Put that on a t-shirt. Show me the freaking sauce. What do we got here? In the West, we don't care about violence, but nudity is where we draw the line. There's Patient 322. True.
It's true, and it's a sad truth.
I was watching some of Jimmy Carr's comedy stand-up gigs, and I've no reason to believe this isn't true. It probably is. In the UK, you can have sex at 16, but you can't watch porn until you're 18.
Yep.
What's up with that?
Yeah. There's all kinds of stuff like that that's quite nonsensical.
Yeah.
I just noticed as that door lifted up that the bottom edge of the model gets its light baked into it from the scene, as opposed to having it be uniformly lit. Just so you don't end up with this black bottom on the... So it's kind of a visual lighting bug that should have been caught in QA, but it obviously wasn't. And so you end up with that kind of blackness there.
Probably was, but it got waved.
Yeah, there's a bunch of kind of nonsense going on here. You can see that the texture on this model here is like all blown out and messed up. So I think this room, I remember, got put together quite hastily towards the end of development. It's a nice room, but I think that in the process of building it, there were some bugs that kind of got mixed in there. But this is where we start what is, I think, a favorite section for a lot of people. I've seen them talk about. See now, there's another bug. There's a clipping bug here. There's an invisible wall when there doesn't really need to be one.
Terrible.
And there's probably, let's see if there's a similar one over here. Yep, more of the same. Well, when you hastily put things together, and I remember why this was hastily put together was because we weren't sure that this next section was going to work out, and then we had to kind of build an entrance to it quickly, and that's what that was. So yeah, this section, the paper cutout platforming stuff, is move carefully to avoid the hazards. Thanks, game.
Yeah.
You mean I shouldn't move incautiously? To move quickly and
It's just par for the course now, though, like loading screen tips. It's like, maintain health so you don't die.
so
Thanks.
I bought. Speaking of making sauces, we seem to be on that topic. I bought the cheapest handheld immersion blender that you can buy off of Taobao the other day, and when it arrived, on the back was a features list, and at the top of the features list was on-off switch.
What was it you bought?
An immersion blender. It looks like a
Features an on-off switch.
Yeah, and then the second highest ranked feature of it was stainless steel stick. So I was like, man, your design team really went to town on this thing.
Really did.
It's got an on-off switch? Oh, man. That's incredible. I mean, as opposed to, like, you just turn it on and off by plugging it in or unplugging it.
Well, I would say it's not an immersion heat or anything, but I did have some heated gloves a couple of years ago that had no switches.
Right.
You basically had to like plug the battery in and take the battery out to turn them on and off.
That's dangerous.
My current heated gloves do have switches. So
You have heated gloves.
for scooting in winter.
Do you live in the Antarctic?
It's cold on scooters.
Yeah, it
like
is.
during December and
I'm
January.
still going to make fun of you, though. Ah!
Oh, I should have ducked.
Can I crouch? Is there a... Oh, fuck.
Oh, shrunk.
I knew that. I knew that. It's just I'm trying to maintain the illusion of not knowing what I'm doing. Otherwise, it would just be super boring.
It would.
It would be super, super boring.
Let's have a look at some comments.
Speaking of being boring, it is prize time.
Almost.
Got 4 minutes. I've got 4 minutes to successfully do whatever I'm going to do in this section of the game, and then we're going to give away a prize. You got to come up with a question.
Yeah. Little Mary Sunshine loves this part so much. Died so many times, but loves it.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that, Little Mary Sunshine. That's such a positive, happy name to have for somebody who's watching me die repeatedly on a live stream.
Mama Basil says, right now it's cold in Costa Rica. Does it get cold in Costa Rica?
Sure, especially
Apparently
if you're
so.
up in the mountains.
Okay.
Oh, I remember this section. I stabbed my head on those sticks before. It was not good. Can we just quit playing now so it looks like I made it through this successfully? And
No.
Come on.
What if the gloves short out while you're wearing them? Yeah, they are kind of semi-waterproof, but I mean, it's not like you've got 100 million volts running through. The battery pack basically does look like just a pair of like AA batteries. Nothing bad's gonna happen.
No, nothing bad at all in Chinese Shanghai traffic where you've got buses and trucks and...
I think we're talking about being electrocuted by
that's
heated
not
gloves.
but what if suddenly they get so hot that they're burning your hands and you can't get them off?
My previous ones kind of did.
Yeah?
Kind of burnt my knuckle a little bit when they got wet.
Well,
But again, it was fine.
fine.
I'm a tough guy.
Sure. Boy.
What's this? Abyssal Pastel adores this part. This was one of the games my best friend and I bonded over. What a lovely memory.
That's great.
Yeah.
And then the next comment is, but he's dead now.
We've got some greetings from Mexico. From
Hola. Hola.
Lapis Live.
Hola.
Are you very happy at Sergio Perez's F1 win, I wonder? I am.
As long as it wasn't the German guy.
No, he doesn't win anymore.
Good.
He's having a nightmare season. In fact,
That's
Ferrari
great.
are having a nightmare season.
Well, he deserves it. I only care about the British guy and what else? That's it.
That's it.
I only know the British guy. We were watching F1 that time, and I didn't even know he was black until he took his helmet off, and I was like, "What? He's black?" And you were like, "Yeah." Oh, okay. I mean, not that it bothers me. I just didn't know. That's like how little I know about F1.
Yeah.
Like, literally don't know anything. So
He's got COVID now.
Hamilton. Oh no.
So he had to get a stand-in driver who everyone also loves, George Russell from England, and everyone wanted him to win, and he almost did, but they had a nightmare race. It was so stressful.
Wow.
Who knew we'd be talking about F1?
Or COVID.
Yeah. Greetings from Poland, says Kenori. Greetings. I almost went to Poland once.
You know, I noticed by the fact of all of the orders that we send out that we have got a lot of international fans and customers. We send stuff to the craziest places sometimes. By the way, if you live in Reunion Island, please stop ordering stuff from us. Please don't order. Yeah. And if you live in Reunion Island, don't win our prizes that we send out.
Yes,
please,
when we do
God.
the prize giveaway,
stop it.
You can't win if you live somewhere weird.
Well, we said that we weren't going to make that a rule. I'm just asking them not to win. All right, so that was it. I made it through that whole section, proving. I don't even think I think I died once, but it was on purpose. Anyway, I made it through that section, proving that I actually am very good at my own game. I just pretend not to be, in order to increase our ratings. There you go.
Excellent.
It is prize time. What is? Okay, I have the question. I have the question. All right, we're gonna give away prizes. You're gonna win either these flappy rabbit ears. I've got a lot of crap on my head right now. Headphones, rabbit ears. All right, so you're gonna win either the flappy rabbit ears or a calendar. It's your choice. The question is, yes or no, is American pretending to be bad at his own game? Yes, he is pretending to be bad, or no, he actually is just that terrible. That's your question.
That's my answer.
No, I am just that terrible.
It's been far too consistent.
Maybe I'm just a really good actor.
Maybe.
I mean, come on, look at us. We're on camera. We've got all these microphones. You know, I might just be a very, very good actor.
No, yes. Ness. Yes. No, he bad. No.
You get way too angry. That's called acting, Wendy. Come on.
Kind of bad.
It's called acting. It's not real.
Yes, he's good. Don't think so.
I hope that person wins the prize. Whoever said I'm actually good.
Yet.
Okay, Nightbot is not working. Everybody who's been... It is working, it's just taking a moment to catch up here.
Give it a hot minute, as the kids say.
Well, you know, I think that I'm not good at my own game, but I am sufficiently good at games in general that every time I come back to play this one, because we only play every 2 weeks, and I basically have to remember, relearn how to play every 2 weeks.
Have you still not turned the PlayStation on since you came back from Thailand?
The screen fell off the wall.
True.
But
we've got a temporary shonky screen.
We have a sheet hung up on some sticks over there for watching Rick and Morty. No, I haven't. Okay. So here we go. We've got some eligible users, and we're gonna roll it, and it's Ace 44.
It's Ace.
You like to say Ace.
I do.
I think that's a dumb thing to say. Anyway, congratulations. It's Ace. If Ace is part of your name, it's not dumb. But when Martin says it, it is. So anyway, if you want to claim your prize, you're going to need to send an email to support@mysterious.design. Include your name, your phone number, your mailing address. Do all of that in a human-readable format. Be sure to include the choice that you're making.
Rabbit hat or calendar.
Do that, and do all that within 24 hours, and don't live on Reunion Island or Vanuatu or any of those places where it costs like $100 to ship the prize to you. If you do live in one of those places, maybe don't email us.
Where did Jeff the Tiger get sent?
Got sent to Venezuela, and it cost a lot of money. A lot of money to send Jeff the Tiger to Venezuela, let me tell you.
Oh, dear.
And then we had the conversation about this. We said maybe we should start excluding certain places, but I made the remark that the money we use to ship things to you as prizes is actually the money you give us in the stream.
Are we getting money from Twitch? Are you seeing anything come in from Twitch?
I don't know. I don't really pay
Maybe
attention.
we should, after the stream, we'll have a look at the dashboard.
I think we get like $100 a month or something from Twitch. So that's anyway. That money which you are giving to us here, thank you for that. We do actually turn that around and ship things to you, especially when you live on Reunion Island or in Venezuela, and it costs $100 to send a tiger to you.
Yeah,
that was a bit. How much did that tiger actually cost
to send?
Yeah, it was like
I don't know. You did that.
I think it was like $50 or $60 to send that tiger to Venezuela.
Such a silly idea to use that as a prize.
We were having fun. All right, let's get into art review. Is that where we're going first?
Okay.
I guess so. There has been a lot of art getting made. So we've got a new artist on the team. His name is Adam. He is in Poland, and he's been doing some pretty fantastic stuff. This is a scene where Alice enters into the Queen's domain. This is after she's crashed the moon and having escaped the circus. And she gets her first kind of encounter with the Chaos Monster. So this is her. She's got her Queen's Realm dress on, and you can see she's got like the funny kind of doll leg stockings on.
Yep.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. But this is the first time.
Great cosplay of this dress.
There was really nice.
Forget her name.
I don't know, but we sell those stockings on the Mysterious Shop, I think. I don't know if
we
still
do.
There. Anyway, the point of this section of the game is for Alice to have her first encounter with the Chaos Monster, which is rendered here as Tentacles. I love Tentacles.
I know.
Everyone
we
loves
all
Tentacles.
know.
And they are, of course, having their way with these sad card guards. Now, we previously showed off what happens when card guards, or basically anything in Wonderland, meets Tentacles. And it looks kind of like this, which I love. I mean, if there's any one reason why we've got to make this game, I think it's this. The idea that we would have a procedural beastie monster that infects the regular characters of the game, turning them from they might be like friends, they might be kind of frenemies, they might even be proper enemies, but I think by and large a lot of the characters that Alice encounters in Asylum they don't start off as enemies, but this thing sure as hell turns them into enemies. So having a game where that's a premise for enemies, I think is a lot of fun.
It is.
So we've done some pretty cool art on this.
Bob? Gurgling sounds.
Anyway, I tell you, if there's a reason to make the game, this is it right here. Is tentacle monsters eating innocent card guards. So the first time that Alice sees this and the first time that the player sees this will be in this section here, in the Queen's Garden. And these card guards are kind of just going around minding their own business, and Alice is just trying to make her way to the Queen so that she can ask for her being set free from Wonderland and sent back home. And then this is going to be the first indication that something's not right in Wonderland. Something is eating everything. What are we going to do now?
I don't know. It's pretty cool to think, though, seeing this in game.
I think it would be. Well, since you're not going to read the comments, I will.
You were having a monologue.
Octo Chicken says we can bring tentacle tech to the next level, then sell it, sell that tech to the Japanese developers and fund Mysterious for the next decade.
Could do.
I mean, the Japanese must already have some pretty advanced tentacle tech. I imagine it's like trade secret stuff that they keep away from us. They don't want us to have that kind of technology. So we're just going to have to build our own tentacle technology. Tentatech. That's
I see Jeff the Tiger is watching the stream.
Oh, good.
Apparently.
Well, that's great.
That is great.
I'm hoping Jeff the Tiger is doing all right. So yeah, this is Queensland Tentacle Encounter card guards. This image we got done, it also features some tentacle business, but I really like this. So Omri was sketching up this scene. All of this is coming out of the Asylum story, which, by the way, we're going to get into a little bit later in the stream. Why isn't that loading up there?
Isn't that loading up there?
Oh, it's weird. Web review, art review, web review. Why isn't it loading? It
was there earlier.
You broke it.
You broke it.
Story outline. There we go. Okay, so anyway, later in the live stream, we are going to go through some of this. This is the Alice Asylum narrative outline. There are tons of spoilers in this, but if you're interested in it, it is available. There's a link to it over in a Patreon post as of, like, I think 10 days ago. So when you see this artwork, what's driving all the artwork that's getting done, all these scenes, is the story of the game, and it's all outlined here, or not all of it, but a large portion of it is outlined here. So that's where our artists are getting their cues for this artwork. So this is a scene in which Alice, wearing the Inferno dress, comes face to face with, I guess we call her Fire Alice. Inferno Alice. But it's the little girl that you see there. She's pretty cool.
Where's her legs?
What is that? Is that like a bicycle seat with eyes?
Maybe.
What's going on there? Where are her legs?
Omri,
what's that?
Maybe she's got no legs. It's all kind of like Cenobite, Hellraiser-esque, being held up with chains.
No, but she's on some sort of a bicycle seat with eyes. I'm confused. I don't know. Anyway, that is 11-year-old Alice. She's sort of like the focal point of a lot of the anger that Alice feels, and that is captured in this zone underneath the Queen's throne room. And I really like that Omri did a kind of reinterpretation of the tentacles as chains.
Nice.
I think that's fantastic. And I think, again, this goes to the idea, like Greg was saying, if we come up with really good tentacle tech, you can imagine that it could be multi-purposed, and so that tentacles could be made out of octopusy, tentacly, sucker kind of having flesh, and or you could make it out of any other material such as chains, which kind of got me thinking, like, oh, throughout the rest of the game we could have the tentacles be presented from a variety of different types of material. That could be quite cool. Anyway, I really like this a lot.
It's a good one.
Now,
I'm certain this will be a print in the future.
I think so. Now, this room, it exists within the dungeons that are underneath the Queen's castle, and this portal, doorway, whatever you want to call that, at the top there, this actually leads into the floor underneath the Queen's throne room. So at the end of this battle, Alice will be kind of pulled up into the throne room with her little rabbit, and you'll see this scene continue with a confrontation with the Queen. But yeah, this turned out really nice.
Certainly did. People are loving the chain tentacles in the chat.
Yeah, I really like those a lot. It's possible that one of the things we could try to push for is that the chaos, as it's eating Wonderland, maybe it's sort of using elements of Wonderland to form itself into these tentacles. So you could imagine that as it chews through, say, a grassy, flowery field, it could be that the tentacles are kind of made up of the constituent parts of a grassy, flowery field. It sort of turns them into nightmarish stuff, though, right?
Kind of like that terrible movie, Annihilation.
Did we watch that?
We did.
Okay.
It was Natalie Portman, and there's like an alien presence that was twisting nature. And they all went in to investigate.
That was not very good.
Yeah.
It kind of felt like it had the possibility to be good, but it just never really went anywhere. I was disappointed with that. Like you watch a movie and then you get partway through it, and then they kind of just end it in a very art film way, and you're like, what? No.
Right.
What happened there?
Don't know if Abyssal Pastel is talking about the same thing, but apparently the book is even worse.
Oh, that's not great.
Yay.
That's not great at all. Now, I don't remember if we showed this because it's been so long since the last time we did a live stream, but this was a quick sketch that Joey did of the Asylum, and I know this got posted up over on Patreon. There was a bit of a discussion back and forth as to whether or not the Asylum in which Alice is hosted exists within the city or out in the countryside. This gives me the sense that it's out in the countryside, and I think we finally came to the conclusion that the asylum doesn't have to be in the city, and it's okay for it to be out in the countryside, and that we've never really nailed that down in any of the previous games.
Okay.
Do you remember?
No, but I can see why people just naturally assume it's in the city.
I always thought kind of it was. And I know that there is a scene at the end of the first game where you see Alice exiting the gate in front of the asylum. And it's sort of like, haha, I won. And I'm leaving the asylum now. But I don't think that it establishes that it's anywhere. All you see is her in the front of the building and the gate. So it could be on the moon for all we know. So I don't think that this violates anything. I don't think we're retconning anything violently. So this is fine. If this is going to be the asylum and it's in the countryside, then it's in the countryside.
Yes, Miss Crimson Mischief would assume that asylums would be away from civilization. Those screaming loonies out of the city.
Yeah, Arter Zero says in the last scene of AMA, it looks like it's in an urban location. Yeah. So
could retcon it.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's one of those things that people are going to be like, oh my god, you've radically changed the entire nature of the universe.
The asylum was definitely on this street.
Yeah.
We figured it out.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll see. It'll be all right. Now, this is a scene that comes prior to the other one we were looking at, where she's interacting with those card guards who are getting tentacled to death. This is actually just after she crashes the moon into the Queen's Garden. Now,
is that the House of Fire and Fury in the background? Didn't notice that before.
It is a big old castle-y, churchy.
One of our first ever prints.
Yeah. It's a nice one.
Yeah.
So what we're going to find here is that this scene takes place right at the edge of sort of like a pond, like a fish pond or a koi pond or something, and that pond is where the turtle is on which the whole circus sequence had taken place, right?
Okay.
So you're going to realize in this scene that you were in the other scenes down tiny in the pond. And then you rode the moon out, and then you incapacitated the moon, causing it to crash. And as you flew out of it, you grew up big. It stayed small. And so then you'll see that in this scene, she's able to capture the moon in her hand. And then she's going to hand the moon to her White Rabbit plush, and he's going to stick it in a pocket for a plot device, which we'll use later on.
Okay.
So yeah, this is going to be a fairly critical scene because she's actually inadvertently collecting one of the first pieces of her kind of journey as she overcomes this obstacle, which kind of links into the first step into adventure and the hero kind of making progress and going out into the world to confront chaos. So,
all right,
should be okay.
Should be. People loving this image again.
It's
no surprises there.
So I think that did we say this is going to be a print in like next month or this month or something?
Yes, the people charged in January will be getting this print.
So January 5th ish. You get this print.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's a nice one.
It is.
I have started playing with this little program on Instagram that lets you animate your images.
Oh, is that you doing that?
Yeah, so
right.
I finally bit the bullet. I pay the whole $5 per month, use some program that lets me animate stuff. And some of these images animate very, very nicely. So I've been having fun with that. It seems to be increasing engagement on sharing these images.
Yeah, the ones with the little animations on, I seem to remember getting quite a lot of likes.
People like animations. Go figure. Now, I think for sure we showed this off before. This is just the sequence of Alice weaving her way through the circus as she tries to escape the turtle. So this would be, again, prior to the scene where she's holding the moon in her hand.
I've never seen this image.
Okay, then, see, I don't remember what we showed on the last stream. That's why I threw a couple of things in here, just kind of to be safe and hope that maybe we are not dropping anything on the floor. I don't know. This could get done up with higher resolution. I'm not sure that it will. Again, one of the reasons that these pieces of art are getting put together is to illustrate this series of scenes that are written in text here. For those of you who are kind of wondering, like, well, where are we at in terms of business development? Where are we at with EA? Where are we at with Redacted? Maybe it's a good moment to kind of touch on that a bit. So Redacted, which is this Chinese publisher, they just sent me a message. Where's my phone?
It's over there.
There it is. They sent me a message that reads, "Hey, American, thanks for the updates and materials. We will have another round of internal discussions this week and get back to you next week, probably with a few further questions in parentheses, and we can schedule a follow-up call afterwards." That was sent on Tuesday of this week. So this is from Redacted. That is a large Chinese publisher slash kind of everything, because that's how a lot of these large Chinese companies are. And this is about them funding us to build a studio which then would go on to build Alice Asylum. But as many of you know, they want us to first do a smaller project, a less ambitious project, to kind of build out the studio, improve our capabilities and things like that. But this is still in progress, and it's still going well as far as I can tell, because all the back and forth we've had with them is really good. And meanwhile, we have this conversation going on with Redacted 2, which is a Hollywood film production company that has made some very big movies over the years, and very successful movies as well. They are attaching themselves to this, I don't know how you would say it, sort of, they're supporting everything that's going on with Redacted. And so the two of them are now aware of each other, and the Hollywood guys are putting together a pitch, which they're going to go out to HBO and Netflix and Amazon and Hulu and all these. And what's happening is there's a kind of virtuous, symbiotic kind of growing up and level of interest and power and energy coming out of all that, which is really, really, really positive. And that's kind of where all this comes back in, like making sure that we get all the story stuff in on paper, getting all the imagery in there, building what is our design Bible, which is very much like a graphic novel, right? So that we have all of this ready to go. And I think that once this design Bible's done, my sense is that EA will be shamed into doing something, because my goal is for us to have our design Bibles, the design Bible, be so beautiful and so engaging and so complete that and we'll release it publicly, so that the public viewing it and the media, the press, the other companies go, what the hell is wrong with you guys? Your name is Electronic Arts, and yet here's this beautiful piece of art, and why don't you guys get out of the way and let this happen? That's my goal with the design Bible. That's why we're building all this. That's where all this art's coming from. So
that was the original meaning of the name, wasn't it? I remember you telling me that the idea was literally electronic artists, a platform to showcase art.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, there you go.
Somebody's saying small project ? The small project that Redacted wants us to build is actually the Oz Adventures project. And that's what Redacted 2, the film production team, that's what they're also latching onto. They really like the Oz Adventures story that we put together as something that can be turned into like a epic TV series on the scale of, they mentioned, by the way, they mentioned that it would be on the scale of Game of Thrones, that type of stuff. Now, that's what they're pitching, right? They're doing essentially what we do when we go to pitch a game studio, but they're doing it as a film production company, and they're pitching to the guys who have all the big bucks for producing television series. So anyway, it's all very good. It's very virtuous, like collaboration that's going on, and I'm pretty happy about it.
Yay.
Yeah. Any other?
Not Disney, please.
It's not Disney. Well, they may pitch to Disney, but I don't know that that's who's going to be picking it up, because it's like what we're pitching for Oz is very much like Black Mirror, Twilight Zone. It's pretty dark, and I don't know that Disney produces really dark TV shows like that. Maybe.
Who knew?
Yeah, who knows?
Somebody saying a bit of buffering, but yeah, it's hanging on.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, so Oh, hell yeah. So everybody wants to shame EA. So there you go.
What did I miss, guys? An hour.
You did. And you missed me being awesome at my own game. Just absolutely awesome. Intentionally awesome. All right, back to art review. So this is the original series of 4 sketches. I love these so much. This is the original series of 4 sketches that Adam did to kind of ask our team which direction to go. He basically gave us the option of.
Was it Adam that did those kind of like Alice animation kind of wireframe things? Showing how like she might run and jump and swing and swim.
No, that's Norm.
All right.
So Norm did a bunch of animation, kind of like movement studies. By the way, those have all been uploaded over on Patreon. All those Patreon posts from the past are unlocked and free to view for anybody who wants to view them. There's a tremendous amount of content over there that you might want to check out. Yeah, those originally came from Norm. Now, what we have going on with some of these things is that Adam and Norm are collaborating, or Adam plus Dario plus Norm collaborate on a single image. So it's pretty cool to see them working together as a team, because they work to each other's strengths. Like maybe Adam is really good at these epic scenery type images, whereas maybe Norm is really really good at like the capturing the characters physique and movement and things like that. So anyway, this was Adam I think working on his own, again rendering out the scene where Alice first encounters the chaos and then also sees it as it's eating up a bunch of card guards. So he had asked us as a team which ones of these he should go forward with. I particularly liked this one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Why? I should have stayed in bed this morning. I shouldn't have got out of my deck. So this one I liked a lot. Now, this caused a bit of controversy. I posted this online, and a lot of people got bent over the fact that she's got a very long blade.
It's like a Vorpal sword.
It's like a Vorpal sword.
It's going so far, it's going through the gates.
And it was
massive.
It was interesting because a lot of people they think like, you've presented a couple of rough sketches that aren't even colored in. Oh no, are you changing the shape of the Vorpal blade? Is this gospel? Like, no, it's a rough concept sketch. We're not. And I saw that there was a couple of comments like that. Oh no, you've made her skirt too short, or you made the blade too long. Oh no, what have you? And it's like, guys, come on. It's just a concept sketch. There's no intention in any of this to rework major elements of the Alice character. It's just the artist trying to get this scene done where the main point is communicating the card guard is getting gobbled up by the chaos monster, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so he ended up doing this one is the one we were showing off. Huh?
The full color one at the beginning?
Well,
that was like top left.
Eat it, Martin. Eat it.
We didn't show this one yet.
Well, there you go. You're wrong.
You're wrong twice.
Oh no, look, her eyes are red. Oh,
have you removed Alice's
Are
eyes
you
for this
retconning?
game?
Oh, she doesn't have eyes? What have you done? Oh, I'm never playing one of your games again. Yeah, no. So, that would be funny though. Alice 3. Now I can't see.
But in the sketch, the bottom right guy was a lot more tentacle through the eye horror. He looked better.
He did. Yeah, I prefer that. I really prefer that.
Yeah.
He's like that pit in Star Wars Return of the Jedi. Is that the Sarlacc?
Sarlacc pit.
He's got like a Sarlacc pit in his mouth. Talk about bad breath.
For a tiny Boba Fett to fall into. That
would be really cool. But yeah, I mean, I think this guy's got to have some really terrible breath. So that is the 2 images that he did. He did this one and the one that we started off art review with. Again, he's doing really great work. Very happy to have him on the team. He's fast. He's good. What can you say? It's great. So we now have a total of 7 artists. It's a lot. We've got Jen, Dario, Alex, Norm, Omri, Adam, and Did I say Alex? I've missed. Oh, Joey. Okay, so that's 7 artists.
Not bad.
That's a lot.
That's a very detailed back of that card guard.
Here.
Yeah.
Do you think he just sat there and did that, or do you think maybe he downloaded it from the internet and just sort of pasted it?
He did it by
on there?
hand. That's what he's getting paid to do.
I don't think that's what he did. I think that one of the things that Adam does, and I see that Omri does it a lot as well, is they're very good at grabbing disparate pieces from various existing art or samples, and then they paste them together and they paint them together really good. Way to English there, American. They do that very well.
They do it very more gooder.
But yeah, I mean, this guy still obviously needs a little bit of work. He's just sort of some rough brush strokes. He doesn't really exist yet. But when he does exist, he's going to wish that he didn't. Why don't draw me in? Stupid card guards.
Is it time?
It is. It's time.
Right.
It's time. We're going to give away another prize. Again, your choice is a pair of rabbit floppy ears on a hat, like that.
Or the calendar.
Or the calendar. All hail the calendar. You get to ask the question this time.
Okay, I have thought of one. It's got nothing to do with anything we've talked about, but I did mention earlier that I was playing Immortals Phoenix Rising now. That Ubisoft's Zelda clone, basically.
Oh.
It's good fun.
Oh,
it's
that
not
sounds
bad.
Good. I like a Zelda clone.
It's not bad, but I hate the name.
It's a dumb name.
It's the most generically uninspired nonsense.
It sounds like a dumb video game name.
It sounds like a mobile game. The guy in it is called Phoenix, but anyway. It used to be called...
Does he rise?
He does, a little. Or she, you can create your character. But yeah, it used to be called Gods and Monsters.
That sounds good.
Great! It does exactly what it says on the tin.
I remember when it was called Gods and Monsters. I didn't know that Gods and Monsters turned into Phoenix Rising.
Yeah.
I was actually looking forward to Gods and Monsters.
Good, it's good fun.
So I should be playing Phoenix Rising Gods and Monsters.
Yeah.
All right.
My question is, what's the most terrible game name that you've heard?
Bad Day LA.
Okay, you've won. What do you want, hat or calendar?
I've already got the hat. So that's the question for the chat.
That's the question.
Let us know in the whatever that thing in the chat there. What is the worst video game name you've ever heard?
Yeah. I mean, it's not super awful. It's just so uninspired.
Atlas Returns. That is terrible.
Pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Pretty obvious joke there.
There's a game called Don't Shit Your Pants. Is there really? Five Nights at Freddy's. This is not a game. Asterisk. Alice Asylum. Dead by Daylight.
Dead by Daylight's pretty good.
Right.
I did a concept for a game back in the day called Dead by Dawn. It's pretty good.
Google it. That would be a bad name for a game. Quick question. 2D animations. That quick question, the answer is we may do the 2D animations. I don't know. I didn't see the person's name. It was Dougie Fresh 2003. Dougie, if you're still living in 2003, you're not fresh. But the answer to your question is maybe. Maybe.
Bugsnax is a great name. Looking forward to playing that.
So I like this, what Ask Le Pros says. I've suddenly forgotten every game I've played. This is the problem I have. When somebody's like, what's your favorite movie? I'm like, oh, what's a movie? Damn it.
I'm sure I've seen movies.
Do not feed the monkeys. Mad further. Poe. This is like what Joey would name a game.
She would.
Yeah.
Crush.
So, I thought that dumb game name was the recent one, the delivery guy game that was called
Death Stranding.
Yeah, I mean, come on,
that
was dumb.
It grabs your attention with its oddness.
No, it was just dumb. It just really was. I'm sorry.
Sorry if you're watching, Kojima.
Yeah, Kojima watches our streams all the time. I remember there was one years ago called Fat Princess that pissed off a lot of people. So
I remember the controversy about that.
People were unhappy about that.
She was pretty fat in the game. I mean, it was pretty descriptive.
Miss Crimson Chief says sewing adventures, but I mean that's not terrible. It actually just probably does that. It's like sewing adventures.
PT was good.
Yeah,
not technically a game, but
Goose
stuck in
Game.
your mind.
I still want to play Goose Game.
Untitled Goose Game, isn't it? The full
Is
name,
that what it's called?
I think.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
We know what you mean.
We do. Okay, I think that's it. I think there's a lot of...
I think we've got enough to roll now.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. And it's Alberto Flores. Congratulations. You have just won your choice of some goofy rabbit ear hat or a calendar. You'll need to send an email to support@mysterious.design. Include your name, your phone number. What else? Your address would help, because otherwise we won't know where to send it. Do all that within 24 hours. Format it in a fashion that doesn't cause my rabbit ears to get angry. And then make sure you do state which prize it is that you would like sent to you. Otherwise, we'll just send you a box full of Lulu's hair that's fallen on the floor.
And there's a lot of it.
There is a lot of it. So here we go. Yes, Alberto says, what? I won?
OMG, OMG.
He wrote co. So there you go. Thanks so mucho. You're welcome. Right, we're going to go back to...
more art.
Should we do a shout out for our sponsors since they have kind of come back?
Go on then.
Let's do it. You do it while I try to find their SoundCloud something.
Freaky Fandoms. Woo! Look, you can even see their new logo down there. Isn't that awesome? It's quite nice. Yes, they do a podcast about sort of quirky cult type pop culture, movies, books,
horror,
video game,
sci-fi.
horror, sci-fi stuff. They no longer... Well, currently the website is gone, but they do have a SoundCloud.
And a Spotify and a Patreon. And so they did write to us and say, first, here's our new logo. Second, they're very happy that their In Search of Tomorrow documentary is coming out in 2021. It's like a 4-hour-long documentary all about science fiction movies that came out in the 80s. So they're in production, and they're gonna I don't know. I guess we will continue to help update you on that as time goes on.
Yeah.
They are also working on a secret video game documentary about, and then Martin said I'm not allowed to say what it's about, but I'm confused because if we're not supposed to say it, then why email us and tell us what it is?
But why use the word secret?
But then that's not a secret. Anyway, I just think that if it's a secret, then maybe you should make it clear in the email whether or not you want it talked about. But they are working on another new documentary that I'm sure we'll be talking about soon. It's one that lives very close to home for us. It's not about China, by the way. So yeah, those are our friends, our fans, our sponsors over at Freaky Fandoms.
Yes, go over to their SoundCloud and Spotify and whatnot and give them a listen.
It's
good stuff.
SoundCloud.com/freakyfandoms. Pretty straightforward. So there you go.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna get back to art review.
Okay.
After that quick break, sponsor break. Tentacles. Again, I just want to say one more time, if there's a reason to make this new game, it's simply to get this tentacle tech made. I think it's going to make everybody's lives better. There you go. Now, this is a final-ish version of this scene where we have Alice giving her rabbit plush to this little girl.
Might be the final one.
I think it is. Now, this is going to be an art print. Isn't that right?
This is this month's The People Who Paid in December.
And you angered some people by announcing that after the fact. You retconned the art print.
You did.
You did.
Yeah, we normally don't like doing this, but it's been so mental busy recently. We just
crazy.
Kind of slipped, and we announced the print after the month that people paid for it. We used to do that back at the beginning, but we definitely stopped doing that. So that's poop of us. Sorry about that.
But those people that are upset, I think you can sort them out.
I've emailed the person about that, so I'll have a talk with them.
You'll talk with them. So if you're angry about what Martin did,
American did,
what Martin did with the art print stuff. There is a way to rectify it. Send an angry email to Martin via our Zendesk thingies. There's buttons on Mysterious for that. Or you just do that support@mysterious.design thing.
Her legs look a tad odd. No.
Who? What?
Who? They both seem
There's
fine?
3 pairs of legs in the scene. What are we talking about?
Well, they all look fine.
I don't know. My issue is that this little girl is nowhere near street urchin-y enough. So what I had called for in the script was that she was handing her rabbit over to a little girl who's described as a street urchin, which means she's basically homeless. She should be covered in filth, and she should be not even maybe wearing matching shoes, if shoes at all. So anyway, there will be some adjustments made to this in the future, but for now, it's fine. This is going to be an art print, and it's pretty cool. Now, this is a pivotal moment in the story. I'm still not exactly sure where this is going to fit into the story, because there's sort of two variations on this. There is the very first. Now, she's very street urchin-y here. There is this scene. Now, I think this is the first time that you see that scene. You see it in this rendering, which is quite sad and depressing, and it's meant to signify a very dark turning point in adult Alice's life. Now, when we revisit the scene, which I think we're going to do later on in the story, it will have transformed in this fashion. And what we're working on right now, so for those of you who tuned into this live stream today to hear us go on about the Alice Asylum story and some of the stuff that we're dealing with there, I don't know that we're going to dig very deeply into that, because what I have planned is that myself and Alex Crowley are going to take all the comments that those of you who wrote comments over on Patreon about the story stuff, we're going to take all those comments and we are going to then work on some new feedback and, how shall I say it, just new thinking about how to fill in some of the pieces that come in the narrative kind of partway through the second scene leading into the third act. I should say partway through the second act leading into the third act. So for those of you who are following along with what we're doing on the narrative, and you're not afraid of spoilers, I don't think we're going to dig much into that. I think we might actually do a special narrative specific live stream, or maybe like a Discord chat type of thing to go through this, because I think there's a lot of people who are purposely avoiding reading the story stuff because they don't want it messed up for them.
Fair enough.
Yeah. All of that being said, though, we did get some really good comments from those insane children who are interested in the story stuff. We are working that now into the conversations that I'm having with Alex, and we are specifically working on the ending. We're working on how the overall theme of the game, of the narrative, links into the things that take place as you move towards the resolution of the story and the ending of the game.
Right. Just looking at this message here from Patient 322, saying it could be a hologram picture for these two images, depending on which angle you look at it from.
We've looked at that before.
We did. It was kind of weird, because it was going to be for Mushroom Head, I believe. I talked to the print shop, and even though they said they could make these lenticulated images, they didn't know how. They couldn't tell us how we needed to provide the images to them.
Yeah.
So it just never happened.
Well, we could look into it again if you want to make a quick note about looking into lenticular / hollow whatever images, because I've always thought that would be a lot of fun, and it would be nice to do something by way of like new artwork and a new way of presenting artwork going into the new year. So yeah, Octo Chicken says narrative specific live stream, I will be there. I did see we had a comment from Lucky Dragon, raising concern about whether or not the narrative conversations were engaging enough, if the crowd design was working there. And I said to Lucky Dragon that I think that the response we're seeing is quite normal. There's a lot of people, like I said, who don't want to get involved with spoilers. They want the stuff to remain fresh for the first time they play the game. And I think there's a lot of people who are just not that interested in writing, in story stuff. They like to have stories told to them, but they're not that interested in the actual process of crafting stories. That should be something we use for our next question. Because I am curious to hear from the chat how many of you are actually interested in the story stuff. How many of you are avoiding it on purpose because you don't want it spoiled? But we still have 15 minutes.
15 minutes, and that's the next question sorted.
Yeah. But I think I feel really good about where the story's heading. I feel really good about the comments we got back. It's fairly consistent feedback that we're getting about the story that's been written so far. And I'm enjoying this process of crowd designing a narrative, crowd designing a game. I feel that a lot of the writing that's getting done is flowing very naturally. It's flowing very easily, and it's great to have all these visuals to wrap around what it is that we're doing. If there is any kind of struggle going on for me right now, it's that we have multiple ways in which I think we could resolve the story, and it's just a matter of making sure we pick the best way from the probably 5 or 6 different ways I can imagine off the top of my head that it could go. And so that's what we're working through right now. That's what Alex and I are going to talk about over the coming days. So I expect that going into next week, and by the time we come back for the next live stream, there will be quite a bit more added to the story document, and then we will be presenting that to our insane children over on Patreon. Those of you who are interested in that stuff can go and read all that and continue to engage with it. And then I think we're going to get, close to done on the narrative outline relatively soon. And then all the work we're doing will just be on finishing the design Bible going into the new year. So that's good. I think we're making good progress.
Yeah. Seems a few people doing their best to avoid spoilers. Being on the live stream kind of, it's a bit weird.
Well, I mean, it's funny because we're presenting all these disparate pieces of imagery like you see here, and I can say to you, this is the scene where Alice escapes the circus and rides the balloon, but I don't think that it really destroys how it all finally comes together, because this is going to be, once it's presented on screen in a game, this is going to be freaking epic, right? This is going to be a huge scene. I think it's going to feel really immersive and amazing to be floating through the clouds in this balloon and fighting against this giant mecha moon. So there's something that, we can draw this, and we can write out that that's what the scene's going to be like, but I don't think you're losing out on the grandeur of this by being aware that it's going to happen. I still think you're going to find that you're really taken away by it once it's presented in game. So it's going to be pretty cool.
Seen the multiple endings ? Asked a couple of times.
Yeah, I don't think we want to do that. I've said this before. Now, I mean, I'm not going to rule it out completely. Let's see where the narrative discussion takes us. But I've always been concerned about multiple endings because they generally they tend to suggest that you got to the point where we are now, where you can think of 4 or 5 viable endings, and you go, well, let's just do multiple endings. And I think from a creative perspective, I'd rather that we presented a strong and final and meaningful ending that neatly wraps up everything we're trying to communicate with the game, instead of suggesting that what we were trying to communicate was so busy and muddled that you could potentially see it ended 4 or 5 different ways. So I'm not a big fan of multiple endings.
There's ways you could do it. I mean, somebody says, as long as one is clearly canon. But then there's like in Gay's Dawn, there was an ending, and then there was another ending after that.
Sure.
But it didn't change the previous ending. It was just what happened a week later. It was still part of the story.
Well, the problem is that the way that this story is structured is that it is a prequel and it is the ending. It's meant to be the prequel and the ending to the series. Mm-hmm. It's supposed to do a double duty as going back to see what had happened to her previously as a child, and it's also supposed to bring us forward to the adult that exists at the end of Madness Returns, and it's supposed to wrap up both of their stories. So in that way, I don't think it makes a lot of sense that we then try to graft on. I mean, we already know what the continuation would be. It would be Alice Otherlands. Mm-hmm. And in order to have multiple endings and then have it also link into Otherlands, I think I would struggle to make that make sense. So,
right.
Yeah. Any other comments you got going on there that are important? Because I know how you love to ignore everyone's comments.
I do.
And then I have to beat you fiercely after the live stream.
Nobra-chan wants a UFO in the ending. Some people would be sad if it's the last Alice game, but, you know, Patient 322 would be fine. Yeah, Artheria Prism suggests an extended ending if you've done like 100% fetch quests. So, yeah, it's a popular thing.
Yeah,
to have like something extra to strive for.
Let's keep it on the whiteboard. We can talk about it. You know, it's also a question of budget. So it's a question of time. But look, if in the writing process right now, let's say that, you know, Lucky Dragon and Greg, and they come up with something that's really cool, but maybe it's better as sort of an Easter egg ending. Maybe we figure out a way to make that work.
Yeah.
So let's see. So this is the moon on the outside. This is the moon from the inside. Once Alice defeats the moon and infiltrates the bridge. This we pulled up because Omri was pushing really hard to have he keeps calling it the Bobby horse. Right. I'm like, it's not a Bobby horse. Stop calling it a Bobby horse.
So like on purpose or just because B is close to H on the keyboard?
I don't know, but anyway, he calls it a Bobby horse. And then, so this, if you recall the image that Adam did earlier with the tentacles, she's flying through the air while holding this flamingo staff. So the question is, you know, is she going to have possession of this weapon by the time we get to this scene? I don't actually think it's written that way right now, but we may end up doing that. We'll see. But anyway, Omri seems really bent on having this in there. I think, you know, this is one of those cases where it's like art design overcomes any other logical reasons for why a weapon is presented at a particular time. Like he just maybe wants to see the matching up of the fashion and the weapon. I don't know.
I guess.
Bobby horse. We make the finest Bobby horses out of fresh Bobby.
Is that its name? Bobby horse.
I don't know. That would be funny though if we had like a staff with just a kid named Bobby on the end. Just okay. So this was on my desktop for a long time, and I feel like I meant to make a Patreon post out of it, and then I think that I forgot, or I don't know what happened. But the question here is because we had previously suggested that it being that Alice Asylum is a kind of a prequel. And there's what happened? Deadstream. F. Everybody's saying
F.
Well, just remember YouTube is still there. So if you are still watching this on YouTube, smash like to try to help the live stream come back for the people who are suffering over on Twitch. Now this looks like a bad crash. What we're looking at right now is that the Astral VPN hardware screen has just vanished. Now it says connected here. Does that mean it's coming back up? I'm going to click disconnect. Right. Rip Grandma. I remember that video. That made me laugh.
That was pretty funny.
That's terrible. So yeah, if you are watching on YouTube, hello people of YouTube.
Hello.
Do you need to do that prize thing while we're just on YouTube?
We actually need to do that. Well, we always do that at the end.
All right, we'll do that at the end. But it looks like the hardware VPN setup has completely died over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to launch the software VPN, and we're going to hope that it saves the day. So we are now attached to the software VPN and our private VPN server in Los Angeles. And let's tell people on Twitch we are trying. It did post my jigger there.
It did post.
The stream has stopped suffering, but we don't seem to have any.
There's no movement on that.
That's not good.
Maybe this private server isn't the best.
You're not the best. Don't talk about my private server like that. All right, well, we're going to try Los Angeles Supercharged. Here we go. Let's go, Los Angeles. I think that the reason you're not seeing anything move here is because this, Streamlabs, has died. Not good.
It's not. Doesn't it take a while to come back?
But you look at this, it's not even really trying to get back up. Normally it says it's trying, but in this case, it's actually not even trying to get back up. We may have just completely lost our ability to stream. Though we are recording for YouTube, so hey, YouTube people. Our internet got really busted, and you get to watch the fun that results from that. Don't know what to tell you. The Astral tab over here on the hardware VPN is just completely died. I'll tell you what, I think we're going to have to call it. I think that's the end of today's stream.
Oh no.
We did have a lot more art to look at. We were going to just
we could
try
do
to
that
decide.
now, but it'd be kind of weird.
Do what?
Just go through the arts.
I'm doing it right now. Look.
All right.
There you go. That's all the art.
Scruffy Bumps.
Scruffy Bumps we were going to talk about. That's it. We were going to talk about these kinds of things, like the different toys we're making. We actually got the models, the prototypes for these things. Turned out pretty cool. This is the Scruffy Bumps. By the way, feel how heavy he is, because he's filled with sand.
Jesus.
Yeah, exactly.
Wasn't expecting that.
And then we've made small ones as well.
Mini Bumps.
Mini Bumps is pretty cool. Yeah, so that's something we've been working on. We've also got the wolf in pig prototype. Now he turned out great as far as I'm
Except
concerned.
for that massive snout.
Yeah, the snout needs help. You know, when Yin's mom, which is Lucky's grandma, when grandma says that she thinks that the snout on a toy is too big, that's you know that the snout is too big. So,
Right.
and we were going to talk about that kind of stuff. Obviously, some plushy dreadful stuff. Now, Jen and I are working on turning Scruffy Bumps into a film concept, basically. So
I mean, I would watch it based on that
cool
film poster now.
Well, the idea we came up with is whenever you see those YouTube videos of like a guy kicking a dog in an elevator, or that woman that was yanking the dog around on the leash in the park, stuff like that, it makes everybody angry, and we all watch videos of it. But like then you think, well, nothing really bad's going to happen to that person. I mean, they might lose their job or something, but Scruffy Bumps is supposed to be the answer to that. Basically, if you kick a dog, Scruffy Bumps comes for you. And it may be like 5 years later, maybe 10 years later.
How?
So,
What does he do?
Kills you.
Rip your face off? It's an actual murderous kitty.
yeah, exactly.
All right.
Now, I'm telling everybody on Twitch that it's died.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. So, anyway, YouTube people, what else? We were going to look at some of these new Plushy Dreadful designs. We're going to talk about how crazy successful the Love Rabbit has been. So crazy that people are actually getting tattoos of it, which is just mental. And this is the design for the Hysteria Rabbit that we're going to make, and then you can get only if you are at a certain level over on Patreon next year. But
next year.
That's about it.
Oh, it's been such a long time since we've actually had a total failure. The VPN usually comes back.
It says here, stream has disconnected. Duh.
But at least if it's saying that now, then
it's busted.
We'll stay here for another couple of minutes, perhaps.
It's busted.
Oh, look!
Oh,
the pink tower has returned.
Back.
Just took
there.
Wendy
says returned. All right, it's back.
So yes, Twitch people, you didn't just hear us rambling on for 5 minutes about how the VPN is terrible.
We basically just gave everybody over on YouTube like an accelerated review of what the end of the stream was going to be about. But now that you're all back, okay.
Yeah.
I am still wearing the hat. Do you think that's what caused the VPN to die?
Nah.
Anyway,
we're on Scruffy Bumps.
We're on the software VPN now, and the hardware VPN completely died. It won't even, the page where it lives won't even load anymore.
It's a reboot.
I don't know. That's weird. Okay. So where were we? So what I was trying to say was we need to decide on which cat we're gonna use in Asylum. Now we did this Cheshire Kitten idea, and I think that in the time since we did that, it's kind of grown off of me. Is that, how do you say that? I've grown less fond of it.
Grown out of it.
Grown out of it. I don't know. So how does everybody in the chat feel? I was going to make this a question over on Patreon, but when we play Asylum, do you want to see this kitten appear, or do you want to see?
Well, there was the furry one. The furry Cheshire Kitten's pretty good.
I didn't like that.
Really?
Yeah. Well, anyway, we need to decide. It is a thing. Now, there's people saying don't abandon the Cheshire Kitten. That's fine. We don't have to abandon the Cheshire Kitten, but we do need to decide. So if everybody wants the Cheshire Kitten, we can have the Cheshire Kitten. I just had it as a question mark in my notes that we weren't really sure what it was. We hadn't made the decision. So if you are all saying that the decision is the kitten, then then it's the kitten.
Don't abandon him, says Jinx Dweeby.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, there you go.
There you go.
So moving on. This was another bit of news we posted up over on Patreon. That is that we're going to do a new coin. Actually, this is a reason to use the down cam. The coins, now we've done these before. We did them for Pirate Jam and we did them for where's the down cam? There we go. So those are the coins we did previously, and you can see that they are incredibly detailed and beautiful. There you go. And those are heavy, and they're 50 millimeters, so like 5 cm across. For those of you who metric, I don't know what that is in inches. But anyway, we're going to make a new coin, and it's going to be based on this design by Alex. And it is a decision coin. Do you know what a decision coin is?
It's a coin that helps you make decisions.
Yes.
As long as it's yes or no.
That's what I wrote over on Patreon. I said something like, should I have that 4th margarita? No. Don't drink more margarita.
Yeah, 4 is... Yeah.
So this is basically, I think, the final design. Alex got some of this language in there. I'd given him, this is a quote, I think, from Carl Jung, if I remember correctly. So the quote about chaos, cosmos in a chaos, and in all disorder, a secret order, and then the Solve et Coagula quote, which I like. Now, one of our Insane Children pointed out that null infinitum was not the appropriate Latin to put here. There was a couple of alternate suggestions, so yay for crowd design. And Alex, if you're listening, you might want to go check out that Patreon post. Make sure our decision coin doesn't make us look like coin dummies, Latin dummies.
It might.
Yeah, so 2 sides, you flip it. If it comes up with the rabbit head, then the answer is yes, or live on, or I don't know, drink that margarita. If it comes up with the freaking demon skull, then the answer is no. And something like about the Illuminati, I don't know what's going on.
A lot of triangles on there.
There's a lot of triangles on there. I think we're going to get in trouble with this as well. Like, probably if those QAnon people latch onto this because it's got the rabbit, and then they'll all start buying it, and then Facebook will get angry at us again. I don't know.
Well, got 2-3 months before this is the thing, so
somebody says y'all should make these into stickers too. It would love to rep Alice with stickers all over my stuff. What are we talking about?
Probably this. A sticker of the coin each side, I guess.
Yeah, we could do that. I think people also were saying they're going to get tattoos of this, so maybe we could do some of those lick and stick tattoos.
Ooh.
That would be cool.
Used to have loads of them as a kid.
Yeah. All right. Well, stickers. We'll think about that. We will think about that.
We shall.
Now we get into the topic of, it's actually prize time.
The topic of prize time.
So one more series of questions. What's it going to be?
You already said the question.
Forgot.
I don't remember.
I did. I said the question. The question was, how many of you are actually interested in the narrative crowd design stuff, and how many of you are avoiding it because of spoilers? So let us know in the chat in order to enter your name into the hat while I wiggle this cat if you are avoiding the narrative because of that. That being you don't want to read spoilers.
Right.
And while we do that, this is a tiny Scruffy Bumps.
Mini bumps
that goes along with this large bumps. And so, yeah, Jen and I are working on a story to basically turn this character into the thing that comes after people who abuse animals. So like those videos we see of like people who kick a dog in an elevator, or that woman that was jerking the dog around on the leash, stuff like that. Like when you abuse an animal, at some point this thing is going to come for you in the night. And I was thinking, we could have it just have a bunch of different really horrible ways that it causes people to die. I was thinking about that movie Final Destination, like, and then I was thinking like a black cat that you can barely see, but it's got these really long, stretchy arms and legs, and he could do stuff like just straight up strangle you, but he could also, put a leg out across and just trip you so you fall down the stairs, or he could wrap himself around your gas pedal so you go super fast. I mean, imagine like you're driving and then you look down at your gas pedal and you realize that down in the footwell where your gas pedal is, he's down there. And then you just see him like smile and press down on the gas and like, hey, remember that time you set a cat on fire? Yeah, I'm here for that. All right. So anyway, that's what Scruffy Bumps is.
I like Scruffy Bumps.
That's what Scruffy Bumps is all about. Okay. What are they saying about... Avoid spoilers. Avoiding spoilers. Very interested.
Don't care about spoilers.
I enjoy reading the spoilers. Well, why didn't anybody comment on the post over on Patreon when we put up the whole outline of the narrative for the new game? That's what I want to know.
Some of them aren't patrons.
Maybe. Well, if you're interested in the story and you want to help us shape it, then do go over and check out that post. It is free to read now. If they're not patrons, it doesn't matter, because you don't have to be a patron to read that post. You just have to be a patron to read that post first. So anyway, we are looking for people to engage with crowd design on the narrative stuff. So if you're interested in doing that, head over to Patreon and find that post in which we put up the whole narrative outline, and then you can give us some comments.
Please do.
Okay. Let's roll it in 3, 2, 1. It's Squishy Kerbo, who has a very interesting...
Is that like a Second Life avatar of sexy Shrek?
Sexy Shrek. Shreksy. Sexy Shrek. Anyway, Squishy Kerbo, congratulations. You've just won yourself a choice of either a moving rabbit ear hat or a 2021 Insane Children's art calendar. So you need to do the thing. You tell them what to do.
Send an email to support@mysterious.design with your name, address, telephone number, your choice of what you want. Put everything formatted on separate lines as if you were writing a letter to someone. Do that within the next 24 hours, or we're not going to send you anything and you'll cry.
Why does writing a letter to someone make you format your address stuff better?
That's how people write letters, isn't it? They're on separate lines.
Well, that's just how people should just do things in general, but they don't.
Anyway, so give them a description. Why not?
Did we ever show this off once it came in? I feel like we did.
Here, no. I think you've put it up on Instagram.
I don't know. Anyway, this is a wolf inside of a pig. Yes, we know the snout is too long. So we're gonna reduce his snout and give him like a bit of plastic surgery to make his snout a little bit shorter. But basically, this is the wolf got the pig and then made a coat out of him. He's pretty good. I like this one a lot.
Is it better than Hannibal Lecter?
I mean, I don't know. They make a good pair though. So one is a pig and a wolf, and one is a wolf and a pig. I just think that they make a good pair. That's all.
They do.
Now, if I'd like to see them fight, I think that'd be funny. But this one, the pig and a wolf, is on the Mysterious Shop, and it's selling all right.
That great alligator is great.
What?
Because of the snout.
Oh. I guess it could be an alligator and a pig. Anyway, this is a prototype we are working on, and we will be making these and adding them to the shop soon. So that's what this piece of art here.
That's too good from Craig. The name. Wolfenschwein.
Oh, that's good.
That's really good.
That's very good. Wolfenschwein. Mein Leben. So that's Wolfenschwein. That's what he's getting. He's getting work done on him. This Jennifer called him
American Psycho.
American Psycho. I don't know.
Wolfenschwein.
I don't.
That's good.
I mean, I don't even know what we're doing making these toys. Some of them are just too bizarre. But you know, people seem to like them, so
they do, and there's nothing wrong with making something that people like. You know. People want to buy them, they can. That's great.
I like she's written here, look of concern and regret. What does he regret? Well. So that's another of the plushie dreadfuls. Now Jen is working on a couple more designs. We're trying to figure out what is the next Love Rabbit, because like we said, the Love Rabbit has sold so incredibly well, but we don't really know what is going to sell like that well again. So Jen is doing a little bit of concept arting to try to figure out what comes next in the rabbit line. So this one is obviously a kind of injured rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I could imagine like if somebody broke a leg skiing, you might send them one of these as a get well gift.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is kind of book reading rabbit. So she's got little glasses, and she's got a little...
says B did good on Twitter.
B, this one.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is a cute one.
She's cute. I did see people asking, are those supposed to be like chaos glasses? Why are they? What are the lines about? I don't know what's going on.
I think it would be good if they could look like they were drawn on, rather than being like thick stitched. I don't know.
I don't know. This one was a sort of Toxic Avenger type of rabbit, I guess, like a skull head. Pretty cool. This was the Mad Scientist one. This actually started off because I said something disturbing to Jen about like who these would appeal to, and then she kind of tamed down my original naughty joke and turned it into that guy. So
can you say the joke?
No.
Tell me after the stream.
Yes. And then this is Barbed Wire Rabbit. Now, I had mentioned to Jen that I was concerned that if we did this, people would bring up that terrible Pamela Anderson movie from 20 years ago.
They might.
And then Jen said she'd completely forgotten about that. But I never forgot Barbed Wire. So, you know, these are pretty good.
Never forget.
Yeah. So anyway, there is some sort of voting going on. I think Jen has a poll up on Twitter. If you want to vote and help us decide which rabbit to make next. I think B is where it's going.
Well, it's going to be Hysteria next, surely.
Well, so Hysteria, that's this one.
Yeah.
So what did we decide? You explain what we decided.
So, over on our Patreon, we have various tiers, and at the $75 tier, we currently have it so that you get an art print every month. But the first time that you are ever at that tier, you also get a Chaos Necklace. We've been doing that for many years now. So you said we should switch things up a little bit. And we're going to remove the Chaos Necklace from that tier come February and have a Hysteria Bunny plushie instead.
Right.
So we've said that going forwards from February... If it's your first ever month at the $75 tier, you will get this rabbit and an art print. And we also said we were going to be really cool about it. And even if it wasn't your first ever month at $75, if you had done that in the past and you'd got a Chaos Necklace, you will still get this rabbit at your next $75 payment.
Such nice guys. That's crazy.
Aren't we?
So nice. So this thing did really well. The Love one did crazy well. So, you know, the Hysteria Rabbit will be kind of like a variation on that. And we are going to make it where this thing is basically exclusive to Patreon for some amount of time, like 3 months, 6 months, I don't know how long.
Mm-hmm.
So the basically the only way to get this is if you are a patron at that level. But when you do that, you'll also get an art print. So it's a pretty good thing, and you get all the Patreon access and all that kind of stuff. So eventually we probably will make this available on Mysterious, but to start with, maybe not so much.
Yeah.
And then these guys sold out, so if you were trying to get one of those, they're gone, but they are going to come back again next year.
So popular.
It was crazy. So popular that people out there are actually getting tattoos. I can't believe that. What is going on?
Yeah, this person said we could share this.
Good.
They gave us their name, but it's over on Zendesk, so maybe we'll put their Instagram link on YouTube when we upload this video later. Apologies, I don't remember your name. Sorry.
Bad Martin.
Bad Martin.
Bad. More beatings coming after the live stream.
Is that a Beetlejuice thing over on the left?
This...
It looks familiar, but I can't place it.
It does have.
Or is it a Nightmare Before Christmas thing?
It's a candy cane kind of thing. I don't know.
In the chat, let us know.
Yeah, don't know.
But look at that. Love Rabbit tattoo. Awesome stuff.
Crazy, man. I think that's bringing us to the end here.
Real monsters.
Oh.
Right.
I think that's bringing us to the end. Now, we talked about Scruffy Bumps already.
We did.
These are the photos that came from the factory. They love to do potato photos.
The three-legged cat.
I really like these cats. They're pretty good. This is the original of Scruffy Bumps. Jin pushed me to get rid of the tentacle butt thing, so that's it. So yeah, that's pretty much that brings us to the end of our art review. You do have a page of comments and questions over there we should get through.
Bunch of questions. We can have a look at some of these. So yeah, this is basically the Hysteria Rabbit stuff that we posted on Patron that we just told you all about. What do people think about it? Maddie Rose adores the design and says it sounds like a good idea that we swap out the Chaos Necklace. Rugner's Custom Creations and somebody else, we should mention this, is concerned about the people who are looking forwards to a Chaos Necklace.
You can always buy one on Mysterious.
Yeah, they're on Mysterious. We'd rather not complicate a tier on Patreon.
It's complicated as it is.
I do so much paying attention to like data on Patreon and Backticket and stuff. I don't want more.
You guys should all feel bad for Martin. He really, because Patreon makes the data processing stuff really, really difficult. He has to go through there and basically manually manage all that stuff, and it's a big pain in the butt. So if once we make this change, if you want you still want a Chaos Necklace, you just go over to Mysterious and grab one.
Ooh, but that text's going to have to change next year.
Yeah, we'll have to change a few things, but yeah. So it's not like the Chaos Necklace is going away. It's just the way you get it changes a little bit. So not the end of the world, I think.
Melissa Charianlak loves the idea of the Hysteria Rabbit to match their Hysteria cosplay. Good point. I wonder if a lot of Hysteria cosplayers are going to be interested in this particular bunny.
Cool.
Please, we have the Chaos Necklace. Perhaps change annually. If we changed up the thing every year.
We might do that, somebody's screaming in the chat. There's a Cheshire Kitten plush. Yes, there is. There is a Cheshire Kitten plush. He's right there. Meow.
Look at it go.
Look at him go. Meow. Look, somebody just bought one.
Kendra in Longview.
There you go.
This is now. We did some tweaking on our shop, didn't we?
We did. Now it tells you. It does. What's it called? Social proof.
Social proof.
Yeah, to try to trick people into buying stuff because other people bought stuff. I don't know.
You sometimes see people on our ads like, "Is this shop legit? I've been scammed before." So there's a couple of things you can do to set people's mind at ease.
But you could fake all of that anyway.
You could fake it.
Who knows? Anyway.
Yeah.
But yes, there is a Cheshire Kitten, whoever was screaming about that in the Sam Firewolf 2010. Yes, there is one.
Yep. Andrew likes the idea of swapping out the necklace.
What are you wearing, says somebody. I'm wearing a floppy bunny ear. It's a prize for today. You can buy one of these. You can win one of these today. That's what the prize is.
Oh, go to it on Mysterious. Is it still got that video?
Sure.
That cute video that we ripped off from the internet.
Yeah, well, she ripped it off too, so it's okay. Does it have sound?
Yeah, maybe RIP headphone users. I'm not sure.
I don't want to press the button.
Press it.
It's going to be really noisy. Yeah, I can hear it. It's very noisy. Sorry. That was Martin's idea. Anyway.
Mystic Soul Queen was in love with Hysteria Alice in Madness Returns to have the rabbit is so cute. It's a great idea. Would it be able to be purchased separately too? We have just mentioned that. Later in the year, yes. There we go.
Is that it for the rabbit?
That's it for the rabbit one.
Great. What else you got?
The coin.
Let's focus on critical important stuff because we're running out of time here.
What's critical important then?
I don't know. So what are people saying about the coin? I think everybody's pretty happy about the coin.
Yeah, Lucky Dragon. I dig it. Being cool with his lingo. Oh yeah, this person complaining about the null infinitum seems off.
Ah, right. What do they say?
Omnia perirent or inertium omnia might be closer to the intent.
We're going to have to look up what that means.
I mean, I could have just said something like horribly racist in Latin for all I know.
You probably did. You're
yeah.
racist in Latin. Latin is racist anyway. Heard. Yeah.
What else? The line on the yes side should just be "Your fate awaits." This is from Drusilla Schultz.
Instead of "Madness begins." Here it says "Your true." Oh, she wants to get rid of "true." This is what
true fate awaits.
This is what I was telling you about writing and redundancy and making things read more smoothly. You oftentimes don't need to have things like "true" in there.
I would have it say, "Hi, your super true fate awaits, don't you know?"
Yes, you would have a lot of extraneous words in there, and it would make me angry, and I would just rewrite what you'd written because I didn't feel like editing what it was. Yeah.
Patrick Corrican says it's creepy, looks good, I approve. Yeah. We've got some comments here about the prints thing. I asked people what kind of prints they prefer. Whether it's like big old Alice portraits, landscapes, or...
And what was the consensus? Because I like this kind of stuff. I like these sort of action-y scenes where she's in it and there's tentacles. Mainly I like tentacles. Like I just think like every piece of art we do should have tentacles in it. Is that what people said? Because we could do that.
It seemed pretty all over the place. I don't think there's a consensus. People just like our art. What's Redbubble that people are talking about in the chat? People selling your Alice art as stickers and stuff.
No, it's just it's like an Etsy. It's just people selling stuff. We know that. We know that happens. Nothing we can do about it.
So yeah, what we got here. Chris Reyes likes the landscapes. Savo likes Alex's Chaos series. Got another one here for landscapes from Caitlin Erie. Gem Dynasty. It's kind of weird. Says, "Oh my god, I love the Looking in the Darkness one." Almost as if they'd never seen it before. It's unusual. It's quite a popular print. The other one for landscapes. Actually, landscapes does look like it might be winning.
That's what I thought when I read it. I got the sense that people liked what we'd call landscapes. But this art image here, like for instance, would be, I think, considered a landscape.
I think so.
It's a scene, and it's got architecture and characters and action in it. And I think people like that kind of stuff. This also would probably be one of those. So
I think so.
Yeah.
Moving on to Scruffy Bumps post. Celtic Kitty loves it. Denise Suri, I like the ears on the mini bumps better than Scruffy. Something about the shape. Let's have a look.
Yeah, maybe. Where's that camera? You can try to point that down. It's going to be dark because the cats are very dark. No, that's not it. Down cam. There we go. What's that remote control doing in there? Get out of there. It's not very professional. So I saw that comment. I'm not sure. It's hard to see the ears.
Yeah, I guess they keep their shape a little better. They're a bit more pointy, uppy.
Well, also the scale of them in relation to the head is better. On the big cat, the ears are a bit small. So I think maybe the comment is that the ears need to be made a little bigger.
Perhaps.
Could be. Not sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll dig into it. We are expecting to do. Hey, where are you going with that camera? We are expecting to do quite a few revisions to this. We don't know why they did this, but they sewed directly down front of the cat's head. So he's got this big scar thing. Now, I suppose if in his story, like Scruffy Bumps started off as a cat that was hit by a car or that somebody was abusing, then it might make sense to have him start with scars. We might want to talk about that. That could be kind of interesting. Like, what is the backstory of Scruffy Bumps? But yeah, for a toy though, it's a little strange to have this giant prominent bit of stitching coming down the head like that. So we're going to work on that. Probably work on the ears. I know Yin and Jin, they are working on a couple of bits to revise this. So.
Looking Glass Zero, the original Scruffy Bumps eyes are better. And
well, we had a voting.
J also agrees.
We voted on this, and that was people chose these eyes. I don't know that it was a huge majority, but there was a majority. That's better. I don't look at your face now. So yeah, these eyes won, and so look, I liked the ones that were just white, that were just like kind of blank white eyes. But I don't know. We opened it up to crowd design. People voted, and these eyes won. So there you go. So it's your fault. It's your fault. If you
fault.
It's your fault. All right.
Stacy loves Scruffy Bumps. So does Fee, Mike Neely, Kaylee Schorl. Everyone's loving Scruffy Bumps.
Great.
I think this could be the next Love Rabbit. Maybe.
We're going to have to figure out how to take pictures of Scruffy Bumps, because one of the things that's good about Love Rabbit is that he shows up on camera. Scruffy Bumps is just going to look like a black blob. And I don't think it's going to like that. Oh,
well, we'll use this as one of the advertising images.
Yeah.
It's just simple and great. People, you know what? I'm looking at this now. I think people are going to think it's kind of a How to Train Your Dragon ripoff.
The eyes look a bit like that dragon's eyes. Yeah.
It looks like Toothless.
That's true. Oh, we'll see. All right, we're coming up close to the end of the hour here. So, you got anything else?
Not really.
All right, that's it. We're gonna give away one last round of prizes. That would be either the rabbit ears on my head, not this specific pair, I suppose, but a pair, or you can choose the calendar. What is the question?
That is the question. What is the question?
The question is, should we stream on Christmas Eve, which is where we would be. It's not actually for everyone out there that's not in China, which is where we are. For us, it'll be Christmas Eve, the 24th. For people in the US, it'll be the 23rd. Should we stream for people in the US on the 23rd? But I think this is really also just a question for you. You want to come over on the 24th. Why don't you come here and you can spend Christmas Eve with us, and I can beat you, and we can drink, and it'll be fun. We stream, we get drunk.
On the stream.
We could start drinking at 10 o'clock in the morning, sure. Lulu's snoring.
Lulu's snoring.
Very loud. She's actually dreaming. She's dreaming quite aggressively.
Biting faces.
All right.
Her eyebrows as
well. It looks like people are saying if it doesn't interfere, do it. Party, fail at your own game. Drunk stream. I guess we could start drinking in the morning. That'd be kind of interesting. We got some like
probably
mulled
have
wine.
To stay the night. There's no way I'd be able to get a taxi.
You can sleep with Yin's mom.
Okay.
Yeah, her bed's really warm, and you guys can snuggle.
Well,
right.
We'll think about it.
We're gonna roll it. I don't know if that just got Martin more interested or less interested in. Rolling with Riri. Okay, congratulations. Rolling with Riri, you just won the roll. Nightbot there gave you a prize. You get to choose between the rabbit ears or the calendar. And the thing is, you've got to send an email to support@mysterious.design. Be sure to include your name, your phone number, your mailing address. Do all that in a format that doesn't cause us to have conniptions and fits and anger. and then do that within 24 hours and make sure that you state in that email what it is that you want. Is it either the rabbit ears or the calendar? And if you mess any of that up, just even mess up like a little bit, we're not going to send you a prize. Also, if you live in the Canary Islands, we're not sending you the prize, or like some sort of Antarctic ice station.
Or if you live on Easter Island, perhaps.
We literally just sent something to someone in Greenland, and I looked it up on Google Earth, and the guy lives inside of a geographic institute in the middle of nowhere.
I know that address.
Come on, guy. All right. Congratulations, rolling with 3.
You know what else we have to do? We have to do the Lucky 5.
Do it.
Didn't do it last month.
Do it.
So maybe this month it's a Lucky 10. Need to catch up.
Up to you, man.
So to make things legal over on our Patreon, we can't have it behind a paywall, so it has to be open to everyone. So when this video goes up on YouTube, comment below and you will get put into the draw for some prize or other. Don't know what it is yet. In the YouTube comments, write
Scruffy Bumps.
Hashtag Scruffy Bumps.
Why the hashtag? It doesn't do anything. Anyway, write hashtag Scruffy Bumps.
Hashtag.
Okay.
Hashtag Scruffy Bumps.
That will allow you to be in the random draw if you're a YouTube viewer, and it somehow avoids us getting in trouble with some sort of federal prize giving away regulation.
Raffle must be open to all.
There you go. So write Scruffy Bumps in the comments on YouTube so that it's open to all. And then you too will win something. So there you go.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go.
Don't write it here. Somebody's
God
writing.
Damn it.
No, Kaneko Chibi. That's not right. Alrighty.
Yes, this video will be up on YouTube in a few hours, probably.
Oh, there's things you're supposed to do if you want to support what we're doing. If you're just tuning in for the first time and you want to help support all the art that you see us producing, we are funded in over on Patreon. We have 7 artists that are working on all the beautiful art you see getting done for Alice Asylum. Those artists ain't cheap, so if you would like to contribute to keeping them fed and housed so they can continue to push their pixels, then please consider going over and doing some of these things. One of them is sign up for the mailing list. We promise not to spam you with stuff. Actually, we don't spam you on that mailing list.
Very rarely use that mailing list.
I wish we did spam people on that mailing list. You can follow me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. And then, Patreon is where you could actually throw a couple bucks at getting all these amazing art images done. It starts down at like $1 if you just want to get early access, and goes all the way up to $75 if you'd like to get hand signed, and I personally like the art prints rolling up and all the stuff. You can do that. You can get one per month, and there's all kinds of other physical rewards. And then last but not least, my wife and I run an online shop selling physical goods called Mysterious, and you can go there and buy like skulls and wallets and all kinds of things. And so that's called Mysterious. That's where you can get the old Cheshire Kitten there.
Yeah. And the new Angry and Love Rabbit wallets.
Yeah, we sell all kinds of funny stuff. For some reason, we sell a lot of these corgi tissue butt dispensers, and I don't know why. This was your idea to put these in the shop.
Yeah, we've not added to the poopy gift section in quite a while.
Not in a while, but I'm really shocked by how many of these dumb corgi butt tissue dispensers we sell. Why? Who wants this? Who wants to pull tissues out of a dog's butt? And then why? Anyway, people buy this. So if you need to pull tissues out of a dog's butt, that's where to buy that.
Somebody just bought a skull ashtray.
I don't know what's going on. All right.
It's a mysterious shop.
Yeah. There's some questions coming in. Don't forget the $500 tier for sponsors. Yes, there are a few people at that level. There's another question.
There's somebody at that level. I've messaged twice now and they haven't got back to me.
Right. This is from It Will Be Legendary. Hi, McGee. I can't be all the time in the stream, unfortunately. Okay. It's fine. How are the funds for the game doing? Well, there are none, so they're doing not. Did you settle for releasing in parts or the game altogether?
altogether for Alice.
What does that mean?
Potentially episodic for Oz.
By the way, that beanie makes you look great. It's not really a beanie. It's more like a long hat. I don't understand this question completely, but if I had to interpret this, I'd say that we are talking to a major Chinese publisher who is offering to help us build a studio where we would build Alice Asylum. So depending on how that deal goes, then the funds will be going great. If you're talking about releasing the parts, I don't know. We are talking about the Oz Adventure game being released in parts and then bundled up and released as a whole at the end, but that's not how we would do Alice Asylum. Alice Asylum will be developed for like 2 years and then released as one big finished product, right? So
there you go.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't understand your question very well. It's True Girls Don't Poop says totally netties because you said it's not 10 cent. Maybe. Silver Jinx says, are you bringing... What? Totally netties because you said it's not 10 cent. I said maybe. Silver Jinx said, are you bringing the Chaos Coin back? Maybe not. But you could write Martin at support@mysterious.design and you guys can talk about that privately. All right. I think that's it. Don't know.
That's it.
We're finished. You got an apology for sending stuff to Venezuela. Actually, I sent it to Venezuela. That's You see there's that table right there. That's in my office, and that's where we pack things and ship them. So I was the one who sent Jeff the tiger to Venezuela. I shoved him in a box. It felt kind of bad cramming him in a box like that.
Recently, there was one from Printful as well, a cup. I don't know if it's the same person.
Don't know. Do you guys ship to Canada?
No, we do worldwide except Canada.
Everywhere in the world, including Venezuela and the Marshall Islands and Antarctica and Greenland, but not Canada. Go on. All right, guys.
It's
I think
worldwide,
that's it.
you silly sausage.
It is. So everybody, please get bent, jib it up.
Jib it up.
We will be back maybe in 2 weeks for a drunken morning Christmas Eve live stream. Who knows? We'll see.
We'll see.
Love you all. Appreciate all the support. Happy stuff.
Yes. See you later.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.